right? Some of y'all was born Muslim, right? So you guys could be better than us that are older, that became Muslim older, or we started learning older or later in life. You guys get it from a young age. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that teach the kids the Quran at an early age, because those who learn the Quran at an early age, it mixes with them like their blood. So this deen will mix with them like their blood, right? Because you nourish a kid with the deen, he grows up with the deen. It becomes a part of him. It becomes natural. Okay? So inshallah, you guys be better than me. Inshallah, or better than us, those that are older than y'all. When we recite the Quran, how should we recite the Quran?
In a beautiful voice.
In a beautiful voice. Which prophet was the prophet that had the best, beautifulest voice?
Dawood.
Dawood alayhi salam. Which prophet was the most handsome? Huh?
His name?
Which prophet was the prophet that was the most handsome? The Prophet said he was blessed with half of beauty.
Okay, yeah, Yusuf.
Yusuf alayhi salam. Now we talked about Yusuf alayhi salam last week, right? Right? Yusuf alayhi salam, he was made a slave where at?
He was made a slave in Egypt.
In Egypt, right? And so, but was he an Egyptian? Where was he from?
He was from
Huh? Canaan. Right? So they were what? From Bani Israel, they're called the Hebrews. Right? Hebrews. So the Hebrews and Egyptians are two different types of people. Right? But Yusuf alayhi salam, he looked like a what? Egyptian. What did the Egyptians look like?
Black.
Oh, so Yusuf looked at what?
Black.
And he said that Yusuf was the most handsome of all people, so therefore the most handsome person was what?
Black.
Who said that? Huh?
Muhammad.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So is that true or false?
True.
Okay, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. So when we say black is beautiful, that's a fact, right? And we can say Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it, right? Based on the fact that Yusuf alayhi salam was the most handsome, and Yusuf alayhi salam looked like the Egyptians, and the Egyptians were what? Huh?
Black.
Musa alayhi salam, he was from what tribe? He was from where? What was he? What was he?
He was from
Musa alayhi salam, he was what?
Moses?
Yeah.
Oh, he's from Egypt. Well, he wasn't from Egypt.
He wasn't from Egypt, but he was living in Egypt, but he was from what? From what tribe? Bani Israel. These were called the Hebrews. Or Bani Israel. Okay? Yes. Yusuf was from the 12 sons. Right? Who was the father of Yusuf? Right? Jacob. Right? Also, his name was also what? Israel. Okay? Israel. Yaqub and Israel are the same people. So we say Bani Israel. Right? We're saying Bani means children of Israel or children of Jacob. How many sons did Jacob have?
Yeah, 12.
12. And he had 4 wives.
Yeah.
That's right. What was the name of Yusuf's brother? Benjamin or Benjamin. Okay? So each son represents a tribe of Jacob or a tribe of Israel. Yusuf alayhi salam was of the 12 tribes or of the 12 sons. There's a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Suleiman alayhi salam, he had 99 wives. He said, I'm going to go sleep with all of my 100. No, actually, he had 100 wives.
100?
And in the hadith, he said, I'm going to sleep with all of my wives, and each one of them is going to have a child, and he will be a mujahid. Right? Everybody know what a mujahid is? A soldier, one that fights in the cause of Allah. Okay? So he said, I'm going to have sex. I'm going to cohabitate with 100, all of my 100 wives tonight, and each one of them is going to get pregnant, and they're going to have a boy, a mujahid. But he forgot to say, inshallah. He didn't say inshallah. Okay? So out of those 100 wives, only one became pregnant, and the baby was deformed. So instead of him going and having sex with all of his wives, and them coming out boys and being mujahid, Allah didn't answer his prayer because he didn't say inshallah. Not only did he not have 100, but he only had one, and that one was deformed. The gist of the story was that the Prophet ﷺ said, if he would have said inshallah, then Allah would have answered his dua. He would have had sex with all 100 of his wives, and all 100 of them would have been boys. But he didn't say inshallah. Okay? So there was prophets that had many wives. Okay, Suleiman alayhi salam had many wives. Dawood alayhi salam had many wives. Okay,